Welcome back to another edition of the Rich Varney Show podcast. We're going to be talking about my 5 top tips about buying real estate here in Mexico. If you're new to the channel or new to the podcast, welcome. My name's Rich Varney, and for the past 2 years, I've been uploading videos on YouTube, doing interviews with interesting people about living here in Mexico, getting them to share their experiences. It's about expats coming to Mexico, relocating, and all that kind of stuff. So if you're into that, please consider subscribing. Hit that notification button if you're watching and listening on YouTube. These are things that I share with my clients all the time, so I just wanted to share with you and do a quick podcast for you. I do apologize, guys. There is in the back, or maybe you can hear it, we're in the weekend of here in Mexico, the Day of the Dead, De los Muertos, and I have my birthday actually on Monday, which is Day of the Dead, and there's all these fireworks going off in the background, so you're going to hear these popping. So hopefully it's not too off-putting for you to listen to this podcast and hear all these things, because I'm just behind the church here in Ajijic. So it's a day of, it's a celebration. So this may not work, but we'll see and give it a go, shall we? So my top tip number 1, just to so you know, guys, the market here in Mexico. If you're coming to Mexico as a foreigner, as an expat from United States, from Europe, from Canada, from anywhere really, and you haven't worked here in Mexico, just know it's a cash market. The finance that is available normally is through hard lenders. But just to be aware, when you do use these hard lenders in town, if that's your only option, they normally have quite a high percentage of interest rate, a lot higher than you're used to back in probably your home countries. If you're from the States, you're probably used to like a 3%, 4%. In England, it's quite similar. In Europe, in Canada, I'm sure it's quite similar too. Maybe it's a little bit more. So, but here, a hard lender can lend you money anywhere from, say, 9% all the way up to 12% interest. So it's normally, the terms are not that long. Terms are normally up to 5 years, and you would tend to have to put down at least a 50% deposit of the property. So if there was a property you were interested in and the hard lender pre-approved you for you to go ahead, you would have to put down, say if it was 200,000, you would have to put down 100,000 in cash. The rest would be spread over a period of, say, 5 years or something. That's quite normal here in Mexico. Well, it's quite normal here in Lake Chapala. A lot of people don't know that these services are available, but they certainly are. And if you do want to email me privately and get some more information on that, I will leave my email down below, and I can get you in contact with the people that actually do these they have a private lending company that will help you. And basically what it entails is you have an interview with them, you sit down with them, and they assess it to see if they want to take on the risk or not. Very much like a bank when you do a mortgage with a bank. So that's my tip number 1. Be aware there is a cash market, but there are options for people coming in who do need a little bit of a help for a few years, maybe while they sell their property back in the States, just to kind of work as a bit of a bridge over until they buy so it allows them to buy a property here in Mexico. Number 2, do your research. I cannot emphasize this fact enough. I promise you guys. What can you do? Do your research of, say, the most popular areas of Mexico that expats are retiring to, because 9 times out of 10 you will probably want to retire in them areas. Find out the kind of life that you're looking for. Find out the kind of climate that you're looking for. I mean, any area in Mexico that you go to is going to be full of culture. I mean, I've traveled quite well in Mexico, and every area is bubbling of culture. And I would say if you can't get away from the Mexican culture coming to Mexico. You're going to be, I would say, engulfed and in a good way in the Mexican traditions and culture, and that you can get more involved, and you can do, as much as you can be as involved as you wish. So do your research, find out the places that are, say, a lot of have American communities, Canadian communities, for expat communities, and go and visit them physically. Go there, visit them, talk to the locals, because sometimes by talking to the local expats, they can give you like some of, and also talk to the local Mexicans, the locals, you know, the nationals, and get a feel for the area. Because every area, I promise you, has a slightly different feel. So do your research online and then go off and travel and spend a few weeks there, you know, in San Miguel de Allende. Spend some time here in Ajijic. Spend some time on the beach in Puerto Vallarta. You know, go down to the Caribbean, go to Merida. Check out all these beautiful Mexican locations, and you're not going to be disappointed, guys. It's going to be an amazing experience, I promise you. Even if maybe even a month there, month there, and then at the end of it, decide where you want to, say, buy real estate. You know, because this is what this podcast is all about, right? Give you little tips and tricks about buying real estate in Mexico. All right. My third tip would be you choose your agent. You're actually choosing their office as well. You know, so fine, you know, you're going to be working with the agent day by day, but the amount of help and support I get from my back office here at Chapala Realtors is amazing. I mean, I feel very, very fortunate to be in a position where, you know, sometimes I'm on the road and I'm working with clients, I'm showing houses, and I need to write a contract, but I'm in the car and I don't have time. And my office will write that contract for me, make sure everything, and they send it to me, make sure I agree on everything, and I'll send them the information back, and then they'll get it printed up so I can come and get it signed. So, you know, having a good back office, this goes really back to choosing your right real estate brokerage, and then, you know, at the same time you're choosing your real estate agent. It's very important that them two things mesh together quite well for a smooth transaction, and I promise it will completely pay off, because, you know, the amount of support I get from my back office is just amazing, and it wouldn't allow me to do the things I do without that support. And so choose carefully, and then, you know, and you know, work with, and if you find that you've chosen and it doesn't quite work with one agent, then it's normal. I mean, it's not normal, but sometimes it's okay to then look around and again, ask local people, ask local expats, and just say, you know, who are the good guys in town, who are the good gals in town, say, and, you know, which of the real estates have got a good reputation, you know, who's very willing, you know, and you will connect with that right person. I think there's definitely a synergy when working with an agent. And, you know, not always that synergy is, you know, it's not always suited that every single client that comes through the door will work with every single agent. You know, there are certain clients that are drawn to certain agents for their qualities. So you know, do a bit of research, check online, and then phone around and have a conversation with an agent and see if you click with them. You know, that's really, really important. And if you do, great, then stick with them. My tip always is that once you've found that agent that you click with, that is willing, if you mind me saying, is willing to work hard for you and be that representative in Mexico that has the contacts and can help you, guide you, and make you feel comfortable in the whole process of buying real estate, because it's a scary kind of process of, you know, moving country, and I've done it, you know, about 11 years ago, but it's scary, and you have to have someone in your corner that is really committed to you and will do the best for you. That's really got to be, I think, number one, finding that right office, finding the right agent that you have synergy with and you can work with and is on the same level as you, and you can expect them to have your back. Very important. Number 4, so once you've done all that, you want to visit as many houses as you can in different locations. You start researching all these different areas, say in Lake Chapala, that you're looking for a house around 300. But you know what? It's helpful to go and see houses around 350 as well, and go and see houses around 250. So that would be my range point. If someone says I'm looking for 300, Rich, but I would probably do from 250 to 350, just to give them an idea of what's available. either side of the spectrum, all right? And your agent has got to be willing and able to do that for you. I think that's really, really important. So they're willing to fight for you, willing to take you to places that other, maybe they're not great, but they're going to give you an insight into all these different areas. This is what I normally do with my clients, and take them around and show them and give them insight that this is a good area, this is not so good, this area is fantastic, and give you the pros and cons. Visit as many houses in very different locations around the kind of price point that you're looking at to give you an idea. You're going to have a better idea and you'll make a real educated decision, like a really well-informed decision on what's best for you in your circumstances with your criteria in mind. All right, let's move on. Number 5, ask as many questions as you have. And keep asking them and keep asking them. That's our job, guys, as real estate agents, is to help answer your questions. Even if we can't, we have people that probably can, that we know in our network. Ask as many questions as you have about buying real estate in Mexico, the tax laws, because we know a good real estate agent knows a lot about generally everything around the real estate, about living costs here in Mexico. Use your real estate agent as your guide for everything. Really, and a good one can really help. And it's quite normal for, if it becomes a legal, if it's more of a legal question, then a good real estate agent will help you set up an appointment with a lawyer or a notario, which they're the experts in real estate law, to answer any questions, legal questions, that you would prefer to hear from a notario, the person that will be closing on your property, that they have the most up-to-date information about the law, the real estate law here in Mexico. And if you need an immigration lawyer, it's something different, but there are immigration lawyers that help you with the whole process of immigration. And a good real estate agent should be able to guide you with all of that process. So I think, this is a quick little podcast, guys, and thank you so much for coming along today and listening to this. These are my 5 top tips for today. And of course, I have so many more, but I thought these are good ones to share with you. If you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe, hit that notification button. Hasta luego, amigos.